Good morning, this is Mr. Gomez, Alex Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world. Today we're going to talk about markup and markdown. Markup and markdown. Okay, we're still talking about things that involve percentages. In this case, markup and markdown is used a lot in the stores. Like whenever you go to the store, like a retail store, they sell you items but they don't make the items, so they have to purchase those items from a vendor. Does anybody know that, right?
Yep.
They have to purchase those items from different vendors, but in order for the store to make money, they have to bring up the prices. Because if, let's say they go buy a soccer ball from the vendor for $5, and if they sell it to you for $5, they're not gonna make any money. So in order for them to make money, they have to do what is called a markup. So this is what it is. Basically, let's say you work for a sports store, and you sell soccer balls. Now, let's say Academy or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever, they don't make those soccer balls, so they have to buy them from a vendor. So let's say they buy those soccer balls from Adidas, okay? So, Adidas sells the balls for $5 to Academy, okay? For instance, they sell them for $5. But if Academy sells them to you for $5, they're not gonna make any money. They're actually gonna lose money because Academy also has to pay for employees, they have to pay electricity, they have to pay taxes, all this sort of stuff. So that's why they do what is called a markup. So in this example right here, this says, a store buys soccer balls from a supplier for $5. They buy them for $5, but then they mark them up. They mark up 45%. They mark the price up 45% in order for them to make profit. Whatever the amount is gonna be the retail price. Whatever they buy them for, that's gonna be the original amount, the $5. And the new amount is gonna be whatever they're gonna be selling them for, and that's gonna be the retail price. So how do we find that? Again, we're dealing with percentages. We've been doing this throughout the whole year, the whole semester, right? Every time we have a percent, we have to convert the percent into a decimal. Always, just move the decimal 2 places to the left. Move the decimal 2 places to the left, and that's it. Or it's basically divided by 100. So in this case, to find a markup, this is what you have to do. Convert the percent into a decimal, add 1 to it, and then just multiply by whatever the original amount is. Again, in this case, the markup is 45%. 45%. We're gonna convert that into a decimal. Again, move it 1, 2. So it's 0.45. We all know how to do that, right? So again, right here, you have 0.45. Remember, markup, for markup, you add 1 to that. So that's gonna be, think of it as money. $1 plus 45 cents is how much? $1.45. Now, once you have this amount, all you have to do is multiply to get the retail price. Multiply that amount by the original amount. The original sales price for the soccer balls is $5. Multiply times 1.45. So your sales price for every single ball is gonna be $7.25. So they're making a profit of how much? How would you find how much profit they're making?
About subtracting 5.
Subtracting 5, right? So they're making a $2.25 profit. How do you find the profit? Subtract the original amount, so it's $2.25. They're not asking for that yet, but if in case they do, that's how you find the profit. Now again, to find the markup, convert the percent to decimal, add 1 to it, or just put a 1 in front of it, and then multiply times the original amount. There's gonna be scenarios where whenever you, let's say it's 125%. Okay? Whenever you convert that to decimal, you move it twice to the left, right? So your amount is gonna be 1.25. You still add 1 to that. You add 1 to that. Now you're gonna have what? 2.25, and that's what you will multiply by the original amount. Don't add 1.26. Don't make that mistake, because I've seen that a lot. Okay, if the percent is more than 100, convert that to decimal, so you just move the decimal 2 places to the left, and then add 1 to that. Now again, markup, convert percent to decimal, add 1 to whatever you get, and then multiply by the original amount. It's gonna give you the retail price, whatever Academy is gonna sell you the soccer balls for. Now for markdown, is similar to that. For markdown is whenever a store has discounts, okay? So let's say they have an item for 30% off. You're gonna do a markdown, so that you need to get rid of those items. They probably discontinued, they didn't sell, so you need to get rid of them so that you can bring in new products, right, and sell them. So that's when you do a markdown. And it's gonna be really similar. In this case, we have a store marks down sweaters by 20%. The sales price of our sweater was originally 60. So what is the new sales price? For markdowns, this is what you're gonna do. Just like on markups, we're gonna convert the percent into decimal. But on markup, what do we do then? After that, we add 1. So what do you think we're gonna do on markdown? Kind of. You say subtract 1. It's actually subtract from 1. This is what we're gonna do. We have 20%. We're gonna convert that into a decimal. So it's just 0.2, right? Or 20 cents if you think of it as dollars. Whatever you get, take it away from 1. 1 minus 0.2. So it's like saying $1 minus 20 cents gives you 80 cents. Everybody agrees? You take that amount away from 1, not minus that, because otherwise it's gonna give you a negative number. We don't deal with negatives right now. Again, convert to decimal. Whatever you get, take it away from 1. And then again, multiply by the original amount. In this case, to get the sales price is gonna be the original amount, the $60, times 0.8. And when you multiply that, you're gonna find your sales price to be $48. So basically, 48 is 80% of 60. You can also do this using part over total equals percent over 100. But then at the end, you will have to subtract from 100, which is basically what we did right here. Those are decimal forms of percentages. 1 as a percent is 100%. 0.2 as a percent is 20%. So basically, we're doing the same thing. But this is much faster. Again, for markdowns, convert percent to decimal. Whatever number you get, take it away from 1 and then multiply by the original amount. There's 3 steps. So let's look at some of these problems. I'm going to do one of the markups and then a markdown. Number 1 is a markup. Why markup? It says right here. Plus, all of these are markups. 1 through 4, 5 through 8, they're markdowns right here. So, again, what is the first step that we have to do for markup? What do we have to do on markup? First step. Convert percent to decimal. So we have original cost, $45. Markup, 20%. 20% as a decimal is 0.2. And then add 1. So it's 1 plus 0.2 equals to what? 120 or 1.2. And then multiply by the original amount, which is 45. When you multiply that, you get 45 times 1.2, you get $52. So the new price is $52. Again, let's say they bought purses from the vendor at $45. The stores marks them up 20%. They sell them for $52, so they make a $12 profit. What? $7 profit. Again, convert percent to decimal, add 1 to that, and then multiply by the amount. For markdown, same thing. Convert percent to decimal, so I have original 150, markdown 40%. 40%. Convert to decimal is what? 0.4. Now take that away from 1. So it's going to be $1 minus 40 cents. Gives you how much? 60 cents. So it's 0.6 times the original amount, which is 150 in this case. What do you get? 150 times 0.6. What do you get? 150 times 0.6.
$90.
90? So the discounted price is $90. So they lower the price by $60. Any questions so far? Again, for markup, convert percent to decimal, add 1 to that, and then multiply by the original amount. For markdown, convert percent to decimal, take that number away from 1, and then multiply by the original amount.